Hey, I'm Kitt Adams.
And I'm old mate Nate.
And you're listening to The Late Show on IPL Radio. All right, and we are back. Are we back? I feel like I can't hear me.
You can tell we're back because...
This headset's not working,
Is it not working? Oh,
I don't know. Can you hear me talking into it?
Not sure. Hang on. Let me do a test.
Hang on. Can you hear me in your ears?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
My headset's not working, but my microphone's working.
Okay. Well,
it should, as long as the other people still get to hear me, that's what's most important.
I agree.
No, I joke. What am I going to do? Just sit here and talk some crap and stuff anyway. What's been going on, Nate? We are going to wrap up the show soon. We have done rainbow hunting season. But it's
got a lot of the good subjects out the way for tonight. I feel like it's a show that we can do a quicker one. We didn't have any interviews lined up today, so...
No, we do have some interviews coming up soon. School holidays thrown a bit of a spanner in the works for one of the comedians I had lined up.
Yeah, so we'll be rescheduling that and getting that happening real soon.
Yeah, we have another interview coming with Sammy Constantine.
Yes.
She has released a new track, so we'll get to talk to her about that.
That came out last night. I was really hoping to get it out on time, but unfortunately I had to reschedule because I fell ill with what I feel like was pneumonia.
Yeah, Nate, where are you? Lift your game, eh?
It was really harsh.
Taking time off for pneumonia.
I couldn't breathe. It was really harsh. I felt like it was bad, eh?
Yeah.
But I pushed through it, and I'm here today, so it's the main thing.
Yeah, some things get you, some things don't. It's like I got COVID, and it was nothing, and then I got the man flu. Wrecked me, eh?
That's what the doctor was saying. He's sure it's not a man flu, and I'm like... At the time, I knew what the man flu was, but I was like, how could this possibly be that?
It's becoming a clinical diagnosis, huh?
Yeah, well, actually.
The man flu. It's a serious thing. It's deadly even.
Well, it felt deadly to me.
At least I make out like it is anyway when I get it.
If I had the man flu, it felt deadly to me.
I'm dying, babe. Make me tea and coffee and stuff.
Oh, with the lemons and you get scones as well. So nice.
All the things, Actually, I know there's like a hospital... bed crisis, shortage crisis and stuff like that. But I feel like whenever I am in hospital, it's just so nice to be looked after. And people sit there and complain about hospital food and stuff like that. And I'm just like, man, this is gold, eh? Bring me some more of those little juices and the bickies and stuff like that. I love it.
I went to visit a family member who was in Fiona Stanley recently, which is a big hospital here in Perth, Western Australia. And as I was walking through trying to find my way around, I was amazed that they had like this full food court of cafes and a Subway and all sorts there.
Yeah, people got to eat, Nate.
I know, but like coming from a small town where there's like one or two takeout joints growing up to a hospital that has its own food court, I was amazed.
Yeah, they're infiltrating everywhere, eh?
So I feel like you were saying, if I was in a hospital that I could go downstairs and grab a Subway, go up in bed and be looked after, that doesn't sound too bad.
I think as long as it's healthy food. I don't think you want to see a McDonald's in the bottom of a hospital, eh? Because then it's almost like just creating a merry-go-round. Go downstairs, get yourself a quadruple pounder, and then just like have yourself another heart attack. Oh, back into the hospital, get all sorted out, stuff like that. Right place. Back into Macca's,
Yeah,
just a weird little money go round for them. That'd be interesting.
Imagine a McDonald's that only sells salads.
That's not even McDonald's. People would boycott that, man.
Surprised they haven't already, right?
That's funny. Have you ever seen the clip online where it's like Burger King in America, Hungry Jack's here and stuff like that, home of the Whopper, classic Whopper, and then it was for April Fool's Day one year. There was a Hungry Jack's store that said they had taken the Whopper off the menu. And so people would rock up and order their Whopper and stuff like that. And they'd just be like, oh, no, sorry, sir, we no longer serve the Whopper. People would lose their minds.
I feel like I would.
What are you talking about? You don't serve the Whopper. They get out, come into the store, want to talk to your manager, have like breakdowns over it, man.
I was really mad, right? Because I started going to McDonald's when I found out how good their food is. And...
How good their food is?
Like how good it tastes, not how healthy it is, right?
Oh, yeah, right. That makes more sense now that you clarified.
There was this I forget what it was called, Clubhouse, I think it was. And then they had the Wagyu beef burger. I sort of guessed that would be a limited time. But when I found out it's off the menu, and then my other favorite meal was off the menu, I was just starting to feel like, man, what are you guys doing?
On the limited edition things,
I know, right? But it was so good. And you know what else really frustrated me? What? During summers, especially here in Perth, we get like 40-degree days on average in our summers, which is, I don't know what that translates to in Fahrenheit, probably in the hundreds.
Not on average. We get like maybe a dozen 40-degree days each year.
It feels a lot more.
Yeah, we get like weeks in a row where it'll be like high 30s.
Yeah. Well, that's still, the humidity gets up there.
Oh,
right. But my point being, I felt really annoyed because I used to get the $1 frozen drinks from McDonald's. I used to love them, like frozen Cokes, frozen raspberry Fantas, and they were so good. And they were $1 all year round. So even in winter, if you felt like getting a frozen drink for whatever reason, get a frozen drink for whatever reason, right? It's just $1.
It's $1.
Sometimes you can get multiple of them. You get 4 frozen drinks for $4. Pretty good deal, right?
You are good at math.
Thank you.
Very good, mate.
But as everything lately, there has been price hikes. You know what they call it? Inflation. It's a political situation.
Dirty word.
So they have now put up the frozen drinks, the large ones, for $2. And the original $1 is now half of that drink, which is half of a small frozen drink. So I got annoyed because that's 100% inflation.
You're only getting 2 drinks.
That's right. And if you wanted to get the same amount of drinks, you'd be spending $8.
Man, we are just dropping mad math right now.
We've probably lost half of our listeners.
Unbelievable.
They're just like, no, we did not sign up for maths.
Yeah, sign up for maths and talking about McDonald's. But also,
we probably gained one follower.
Soft serve cones, when they came out, they were 30 cents, man. It used to be a 30-cent soft serve cone. They went up to 50, and I was like, right, I get it. It costs money to make ice creams and stuff. They went up to 70 cents, and I said, all right, now you're starting to get a little bit cheeky. Now they're like $1.
I know. It's crazy.
But they've got chocolate soft serve.
Ooh, now you're making me want to go there.
You know? So it's like, you got to give and take a little bit, you know?
If we keep dropping maths on our show, we might end up getting a number 1 top follower, Koshi from Sunrise.
Oh, he loves a good bit of maths, eh?
You know what? He might even want to come in for a job interview. You know, he's looking. He has left Sunrise.
We should bang out some Venn diagrams and get Kamala Harris.
That would be so good.
Yeah.
Made me laugh.
That's what I do, Nate. It's my job.
Yeah, especially if we do this monologue. Stay tuned, people.
Yeah.
Speaking of American politics, this is going to be an interesting one. Now, this is our speculation. We're not going to go too nitty-gritty in everything that's happening, but obviously the 2 primary nominations for 2024 to run for president is the current president, Joe Biden, and obviously the former president, Republican, Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
So
old Sleepy Joe,
both of them have their qualities, and both of them also have their issues. Definitely. Donald Trump does not act very presidential, but he had a decent economic presidency up until COVID happened. And Joe Biden acts very presidential, but he's also up there in age, about 7 years older than Donald Trump, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. No, we just lost our maths.
Yeah.
But because he's a lot older, he's not in the same physical or mental state anymore as when he even began his presidency like 3 years ago. So he's not able to, he's had several episodes where he's fallen over stairs. He's misquoted words.
They call them senior moments.
That's correct. And like when he tried to summarize America in one word, that's
that's not even a word. It's like he couldn't decide which word he wanted to say and just said lots at the same time.
So, obviously, in the politics, it's an interesting game in the United States right now. We have Donald Trump running again, and he's leading the polls by miles. We also have another young guy running, and he seems to be in second place. Then we have DeSantis currently in third in the Republican side of things. Former Vice President Mike Pence is also running against Donald Trump, and that's hilarious because he had an interview with Tucker Carlson where he said that America was not his concern. He was so interested in supporting Ukraine that Tucker Carlson called him out on it. And he said, "You've done this whole song and dance with me before, Tucker. That's not my concern," because Tucker was quoting on, why is all the cities in America worse, yet you're so focused on Ukraine and spending money over there? So he's not going to do so well. In the comment sections of all of his social medias, he's getting slammed hard, but yet he's still acting like he's got a chance.
Wow.
And obviously, the current presidency under Joe Biden is one term so far. So he has the ability to run again as well, except with his current age and mental and physical, what would you say, inabilities, the Democratic Party are looking potentially to have someone else step up, which, there's
you
several
think they
people.
would do that now? So they're going to get him to run, hopefully beat Trump, and then swap him out.
Well, that's the idea, but with how high Trump is in the polls, it's unlikely that Biden will be able to hold his place.
Yeah.
So people have put out the thoughts out there saying, what about Kamala Harris, the current vice president? She could take over. And there's lots of stories out about her at the moment.
She doesn't have the following. Not many people like her.
Yep. So, Hillary Clinton again, that's going to be another Donald
No
Trump
way they're going to go Hillary v. Trump again.
No. So they have a few contenders. Californian Governor, what is his name? I just had his name.
Not Robert F. Kennedy.
No. That's another Democratic guy, but they don't like him because he speaks out against vaccines and is very focused in that area of politics. So he's got a very dedicated
Democratic
fan base.
guy from California.
Gavin Newsom, that's the guy.
Oh, right.
So he's been a high contender. People are saying that they want him to run, but everyone's favorite pick so far, who is actually set to potentially run for president coming in the next couple of days, which would then replace current President Joe Biden as the Democratic nominee and favored for president in 2024, is former President Barack Obama's wife, Michelle Obama.
Yeah, I don't know,
There's a lot of controversy surrounding her as well.
I mean, there is a lot of controversy surrounding them. You can go into some interesting conspiracy theories there, but even just based on her qualifications, she seems someone that's great to be at a book club with, great to talk some interior design with, great to talk like women's rights and like opening a school, like if you're opening a school or something, definitely. Does she sit in a war room and oversee operations where their military is invading another country? Can you see her in that position?
That's right. At least with Hillary Clinton, she ran, I think it was for senator. And she worked her way through several political positions before running for president in 2015.
Yeah. I mean, she did great as Obama's wife and the first lady and stuff like that. Done a great job. But I'm not saying she can't hold herself in a tricky conversation, but she doesn't have the resume for that, I don't think.
But yet, will it work with how popular she is? That's what they're looking at, is just her popularity at this stage and making sure Donald Trump does not get back into the White House.
Yeah.
That is their main goal. And if Joe Biden is not the man to do it this time, they're going to find a way to take him out.
Yeah, I think last time they got through on the whole, like, blue no matter who.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't matter who it was as long as it wasn't Donald Trump, because he had copped so much bad publicity at the time, and probably rightly so for a lot of it.
He didn't act very presidential.
Nah.
He acted like a media personality, which for what he wanted to accomplish, it worked really well. I mean, the media's still talking about him, not just because he's running again, but how many years after Joe Biden was in, do they still talk about him through all of the talk shows, late night talk shows, daytime talk shows?
They don't like to mention him now. Colbert won't actually mention Trump by name, and even when they show newspaper headlines that have Trump in them, they'll little asterisks out his name, take his name out and stuff. I was just thinking maybe like Zelensky is a result of Donald Trump, because Zelensky was a comedian that played the president and then apparently played the president so well they made him president. Did he sit back and see Donald Trump doing The Apprentice and then all of a sudden he's president?
I could do this.
Yeah. And he's like, if he could do it, I could do it. And then all of a sudden Putin's like, What are you doing? You know,
This country's mine. I can't let this happen no more. But it's
Enough
I'm fixing
nonsense.
this.
Yeah. So, interesting times, but I still can't get my head around the fact that out of all the people, of the 400 million people that reside in the United States approximately, Trump and Biden are the two best candidates they've got.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? And they're both up there in age. I mean, Donald Trump is a very city-orientated guy, lived in New York for most of his life.
Rami Malek would do a better job.
You reckon?
You should hit him up, man. Tell him.
I don't know. I mean, I could message him and say, you should totally run for president, but...
I'm sure I could list off like at least a dozen Americans like really quickly.
I actually think he'd do a decent job. If Romney Malco ran, he would do a really good job because he sees actual issues and he fights what he believes in.
Yeah.
He also doesn't shut people down.
Kurt Russell would do a great job, you know? He's been representing America great for years.
Imagine if Seth MacFarlane decided to run.
Oh, see? I would definitely encourage people to vote for Seth MacFarlane. At least we'd get a good laugh out of it.
It'd be like a comedic version of Donald Trump in the White House.
Yeah, because Donald Trump's like train wreck funny. It's
Yeah.
almost like, oh my God, what is happening now? I don't want to watch, but I can't look away. Whereas Seth MacFarlane as president, you'd actually get people tuning in just to see what funny stuff he's going to say next.
Can you imagine him giving a presidential speech and then just slipping into Stewie's voice or something? Like,
yeah, that would be gold. Just having that up your sleeve whenever you needed to just like break the tension in the room.
Situation. I mean, it's not like Seth MacFarlane's new to controversy in that sense either. Like when he was hosting the Emmys or something. This is a bunch of years ago that I've literally forgotten about it. But he
Apparently
was
not.
booed. He was booed on air.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but he
I remember there was
it.
an episode of Family Guy where they showed in the outtakes like a focus group. And they had a focus group that they showed some episodes of Family Guy too. And the people just basically hated it.
And it turns out they're talking
not
to
a
the guy
chance to hate it. And
that
it
created
became
it.
massive, you know? So, interesting.
It was one of the favourite episodes, actually, because it was funny.
Yeah, there's
They
a
had
few
no
classics.
idea that they were going to be on the show and talking to the producers of the show.
Yeah. That was good.
We should do an
Classic
episode of the
Family
Late
Guy
Show like
moment.
that.
Hey?
We should do an episode of the Late Show like that.
Man, I've been asking people for feedback on the Late Show since I've started and still nothing. So I just assume it's all really good and that nobody really wants us to change anything and keep everything the way it is. So, no, but honestly, would appreciate any feedback, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, or you just even want to request a song or give us a topic to talk about. We'd love some sort of feedback. Just let us know somebody's listening. And that we're not just sitting here wasting our time talking and voices are just disappearing out into the abyss of nothingness in radio land.
To be found by a future civilization, potentially of aliens or advanced species, hundreds of millions of years in the future.
And they
This
will
is
think
who
of
we
us as
were.
gods, as our voices.
They'll think of us the same way
bestowed
we
upon
think
them.
of the Egyptian people and their symbols.
Yeah.
Well, they'll look at us and be like, "This audio, they speak with audio and technology. Why aren't they using telepathic speech like us?"
Telepathic speech is overrated, man.
I know. I mean, I talk to everyone and no one ever responds.
Yeah, it's just, how do you switch it off?
I don't know. Just
You know?
I listen to
Like,
some,
how do you, because you can put your phone on silent mode pretty effectively. Don't feel like talking to anyone right now. How do you put your brain on silent mode?
meditation.
You got all the answers, don't you, Nate?
I
All right,
do.
let's go to a track and then we'll come back and we will wrap up the show for tonight.
Sounds good. Let's go to 17 Going Under by Sam Fender.
Oh, classic track that, Nate.